Hey everybody, Greg here. Time for another look at what's going on this week in the history of Park Journey. A lot of stuff going on this week. I think we only had like one update this week, but there's a lot of stuff going on as far as on our social media and all kinds of different stuff. So I got my coffee here as usual. I went for the Starbucks today. I was out for a run this morning, and we have a new Starbucks. It's like at the end of my running route, so it's kind of nice. I can just order and go pick it up. Uh, I think the funniest thing is it's got a drive-through as well. So I walk up, I order on my phone, the app, pre-order, and there's a huge line for the drive-through. I walk in, pick up my coffee, I'm in and out in like 2 seconds, and then I see all these people waiting in the drive-through that haven't moved, just looking at me like, how did this guy get his coffee so quick? Like, come on, people, get out of your car. Use them up ordering. It's ridiculous. So don't be lazy, people. Anyway, if you can hear in the background, listening to a new vinyl I picked up a couple weeks ago, Kraftwerk, Radioactivity, amazing band, amazing album. Why they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is beyond me. Uh, they're like one of the founders of electronic music. I don't understand if the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is about influencing and stuff, how are they not in there? That's just ridiculous. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on like that. Speaking of Cleveland, I want to take a minute to talk about this fork. So if you guys are kind of familiar with some contest that's going on, we've actually been trying to get in with a certain park for quite a few years. It hasn't really helped, hasn't really worked out, which is fine. We've got plenty of other parks that love us, and we love doing what we do. But we're kind of trying to take this opportunity to talk about forks on our website and our social media for the next couple of days. So I'm going to do kind of a separate fork video talking about the brilliance of the fork, and one of our Friday night funs tonight is going to be about the fork. So this is a wooden handle fork with a steel prong. Is it really a fork if it's only two prongs? Who knows? Is it a wooden fork? Is it a steel fork? Is it a hybrid fork? So yeah, look for that video a little bit later today. I'm going to have some fun with it. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the front page of the website. As I mentioned, we only had one update this week, and that was for Six Flags Magic Mountain, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But as you can see, all of our, if you're kind of new to our site, you'll see that we actually have the top of our page, kind of the 10 most recent updates. We kind of mix and match them depending on popularity. The more popular ones will kind of stay up at the front a little bit longer, things like that. But as you can see on the front page, we've got stuff from Six Flags, Cedar Fair, Silver Dollar City, Universal, Disney, all kinds of different parks. So, make sure you take a look at all of our recent updates. And then as you scroll down again, if you're kind of new to our website, you'll see the individual sections of our site: Six Flags, Cedar Fair, Universal, Disney. And if you click on any of those, it's going to actually take you to that page. And then on the left, obviously, we have our, banners and things like that. I also did last night update the past updates page. So all of our 2017 updates are now there. And then all the ones from the first couple months of 2018 are in there as well. I don't think we'll actually have another update for March. It's only 2 days left, unless something major comes up. And then obviously at the bottom is our industry news, which is, I think we'll go ahead and start today. So a couple things we posted late last night, early this morning. There is a new limited time offer from Universal Orlando, low as $45 a day, which is pretty awesome. If I wasn't so busy with work right now, I would totally take them up on this offer. But from now until basically December, I have zero free time. Except for kind of, doing a couple media days here and there in Southern California. But other than that, no vacations this year for me. So check that out. Also, the SeaWorld Orlando Seven Seas Food Festival has been extended through April 29th. So you can check out all the details there. They're announcing some new headline entertainment. There's a few that are still to be announced, so obviously when those be announced, they'll let us know, obviously, and we'll share that with everybody. The other big news was Adrenaline Peak opened last Saturday at Oaks Park up in Portland. And we're hoping to get somebody over there to review the ride in the next, week or two, maybe a couple months, or within the month, hopefully, to go check out the ride. But you'll see that they gave us a POV and some awesome pictures here, so make sure you check that out. And if you have ridden it or you're heading up to Portland anytime soon and you ride it, we'd love to hear about it. The other big news, really kind of to no one's surprise, D23 is coming back to Anaheim next August, the 23rd through 25th, which is actually my birthday weekend. So I think that'll be a nice birthday weekend next year. So hopefully we'll, we've been trying to get media for D23 for a while. We're on their media list, but as far as like attending as media, we haven't been able to pull that one off yet. So hopefully we will. If not, we'll probably just attend as attendees. And then obviously, we'll report on all that as we do. So on our social media this week, on both Facebook and Twitter, kind of a busy week as well. One of the things we actually posted about this morning, shared this morning, was that Electric Eel at SeaWorld San Diego is opening on May the 12th. So I would assume that Media Day will be sometime around there. So we're looking forward to that. Hopefully be able to make it down for that. I know a lot of people were like, oh, the same ride's already at, Discovery Kingdom, but you're talking like 800 miles between the two parks. California's a pretty big state, so I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. Definitely looking forward to having it. Where we live is kind of right in the middle of both. Time-wise, distance-wise, I think Discovery Kingdom's a little further, but, time-wise, I think they're probably about the same for us, depending on the day. So I'm actually looking forward to actually having the ride in both directions. So whether we're heading down south or up north, love the ride. So I think that's going to be fun. Let's see, Adrenaline Peak. The other thing that kind of non-park that was kind of announced this week was there's a Incredibles Lego video game that's been announced. And I love these Lego games. They're just fun games. And I'm definitely looking forward to checking that one out when it comes out. And then the other thing that kind of annoyed me this week are all of these YouTube pranksters. I don't know if you see, there's a Disney one and there was an In-N-Out one. And I know they get a lot of hits. That's something that we've obviously never done. I guess it's a generational thing, but I know people that are, still in high school that follow our site, and they don't seem to appreciate that kind of stuff either. And it just kind of annoys me. And it kind of ruins it for the rest of us that are kind of following the rules and not trying to be annoying and not trying to just go viral. Something goes viral, that's great. But to try to make something go viral, it's just annoying. And then let's see, on our Facebook, so just a busy week on social media. So our update this week was from Six Flags Magic Mountain, where I went and checked out the Drop of Doom VR. It was an absolutely gorgeous day at the park. The new member priority entrance was open. Usually I get to the park before it even opens, and it was kind of a last minute thing. So I was there probably about 10-15 minutes after the park opened. And there's a huge line, to get in. It's a, Sunday and spring break, and I walked right in. It was awesome. So I really loved that member priority entrance. I know some people were kind of annoyed because if they don't actually do the monthly payment, they don't get that entrance. And I kind of see the point of that. I think, if you pay all at once, you should still be able to be a member. So maybe that's something the park will kind of address. Obviously, one of the coolest things about our visit was that there's no more VR in Revolution, and I don't think it should come back. I don't want it to ever come back. I'm not a huge fan of the VR, but I think that leave Revolution alone. Jetstream was back open last week. It was testing while I was there, so I didn't actually get a chance to ride it, but it looks great. It looks like they didn't refurb all of the boats, so I hope that that's kind of coming soon, because it definitely needs it. And then you can see a couple of the pictures here. The new neighborhood, or the new retail and Newhall Ranch, I think it's probably still called that. I haven't really heard that name thrown around, but that's what it's been called since they started talking about it. So you can see the development going on there behind the park, and presumably, or what we're hearing is that the front, right behind the park, is going to be the retail and office buildings and things like that, and all the houses will be kind of on the other side of the hill. So hopefully you won't get too many of those complaints like you do at other parks. You know, the park's too noisy and things like that, because Magic Mountain is not a quiet park between, you know, all the B&Ms back there and Superman, of course. But, you know, people are going to complain, even though the park's been there, you know, way longer than the houses. People are still going to complain. So it'll be interesting to see once those are done, what happens with that. And then obviously we took a look at the boardwalk, which is looking great. Scrambler here, I love that they're keeping the classic entrance or the classic queue of the ride, but as you can see, the ride is totally dismantled. And then they're also working on the bumper cars, the you know, welding an entirely new floor, so they're replacing everything. And then as you see peeking through the wall there, they're still preparing the ride. And again, it's a flat ride. It's not going to really take that long to install. So a lot of people were like, why is it so behind? It's kind of really not. It's just, you know, it's a flat ride, so it shouldn't really take too much longer to do. And then lastly, obviously, the main reason for the visit was to check out the VR on Lex Luthor Drop of Doom. I will say, again, I'm not a huge fan of the VR. I did think it worked a little bit better here than on Revolution, but it didn't really sync up that much. By the time I got to the top, it was, you know, they were having some issues with it. But again, it looked cool. I probably won't ever ride it again. Again, for me, the escape is actually going to an amusement park. I don't need VR on top of that. But, you know, people like it. That's fine. It's not my thing. But it's there. And again, I appreciate that it's not on Revolution anymore. So hopefully they'll just keep it on Drop of Doom, or hopefully once the contract ends with Samsung or whoever they have a contract with, you know, that'll be the end of the VR thing. And then very lastly, they are putting some, painting some of the slides in Hurricane Harbor. So this was the Lightning Falls. So Hurricane Harbor opens on Memorial Weekend. And I did notice that the park is actually staying open later into the year. I think it's open all the way into October this year, which, if you were familiar with Southern California, that's still, you know, it still could be 100 degrees in October. So why all these water parks always closed on Labor Day weekend or the weekend after was never really made any sense. And honestly, I think they should open, you know, earlier in May. You know, Hurricane Harbor used to open on Mother's Day weekend, and it used to be totally empty, which is probably one of the reasons why they don't anymore. But you know, I think they should open before Memorial Day. That's just my opinion. All right, so I think that's probably about it for the week. We're going to have our Friday night fun tonight, so stay tuned. We've got a really fun question tonight. And then tomorrow, Andrew will be at Great America for their backyard bands and barbecue. So he'll be posting to social media during the event, and then obviously we'll have an update for that next week. Other than that, I don't know if we'll have any other updates for next week. I know we're working on a few things, a lot of stuff going on, and we'll let you guys continue to enjoy your Good Friday. Have a great weekend, have a great Easter, and we will talk to you next week.